feeling the atmosphere slow it down. Once there is enough atmosphere, it will start controlling its path to the landing target.
So I'm watching Perseverance rover landing on Mars.
Confirming that we can see a little bit of that slowdown of the atmosphere on the Perseverance entry capsule. Our current velocity is about 5.36 kilometers per second and an altitude of about 67 kilometers from the surface.
We are probably seeing MRO plasma blackout at this point.
I'm so nervous. I'm waiting for the 7 minutes of terror. Look at him, look at him. He's like nervous. Look at him, he's nervous. He's shaking his legs and stuff.
We have indications that Perseverance is now performing bank reversals in the atmosphere. These are the steps in order to control its distance to the landing target. Perseverance has just passed through the point of maximum deceleration and has indicated that it felt approximately 10 Earth Gs of deceleration.
MRO has lock again. Yes.
We saw a small outage of the UHF telemetry from Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter during that peak heating phase, likely caused by the plasma blackout. Perseverance is still continuing to perform bank reversals in the atmosphere to control its distance to the landing target.
As you can tell, because they're sitting pretty close to each other, so they're wearing 2 masks. Everybody is wearing 2 masks.
About 1 kilometers per second at an altitude of about 16 kilometers from the surface of Mars. We have entered heading alignment, which means Perseverance is no longer trying to control the distance to Mars, but to the target on Mars, but instead is flying straight to the target.
So the altitude is how we know how close we are to Mars.
Our current velocity is about 550 meters per second at an altitude of about 15 kilometers from the surface.
MRO is reporting good telemetry log.
So this is mission control.
We are starting the straighten up and fly right maneuver, where the spacecraft will jettison the entry balance masses in preparation for parachute deploy and to roll over to give the radar a better look at the ground.
Yes.
The navigation has confirmed that the parachute has deployed, and we are seeing significant deceleration in the velocity. Our current velocity is 400 meters per second at an altitude of about 12 kilometers from the surface of Mars.
Does the woo! Woo! Okay, there's a parachute. Well, it's not like
Perseverance is now
it's supposed to be like that.
Sonic speeds, and the heat shield has been separated. This allows both the radar and the cameras to get their first look at the surface. Current velocity is 145 meters per second at an altitude of about 9.5 kilometers above the surface.
Yes.
Perseverance now has radar lock on the ground. Current velocity is about 100 meters per second, 6.6 kilometers above the surface of Mars.
Woohoo!
Perseverance is continuing to descend on the parachute. We are coming up on the initialization of terrain relative navigation and
you see the deploy of parachute?
Our current velocity is about 90 meters per second at an altitude of 4.2 kilometers.
Wow, how can she be so calm?
We have confirmation that the lander vision system has produced a valid solution and part of terrain relative navigation. We have timing of the landing engines.
Another one, woohoo!
Current velocity is 83 meters per second at about 2.6 kilometers from the surface of Mars.
I do that.
We have confirmation that the back shell has
I
separated.
do the what you do.
We are currently
Are you
performing
nervous
the
too?
maneuver.
You do the happy too.
75 meters per second at an altitude
I do the.
of about a kilometer off the surface of Mars.
I do the. I do the.
We have completed our terrain relative navigation. Current speed is about 30 meters per second, altitude of about 300 meters off the surface of Mars.
It's a mess, so you don't need to judge me. I know. So you want to come in?
We have started our constant velocity accordion, which means we are conducting the sky crane, about to conduct the sky crane maneuver.
We've lost direct to Earth tones.
As expected. As expected.
Sky crane maneuver has started. About 20 meters off the surface.
20 meters off the surface! 20 meters off of Mars!
We're getting signals from MRO.
UHF is good. Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars, ready to begin seeking the sands of past life.
Woohoo! Touchdown, people! We touched down on Mars! Touchdown! We touched down on Mars! Perseverance touching down on Mars! Touchdown! Touchdown! We're touching down! We're touching down! Touchdown! Touchdown! We're touching down! We're touching down! Touchdown!
MRO reports they're still getting telemetry from the lander.
All right, all stations.
We got it.
Touchdown confirmed. We're going to wait for the images.
Wow.
This is so exciting. The team is beside themselves. It's so surreal. Stay tuned. We might get some pictures.
Woohoo! Perseverance do a good job as a photographer. Huh? Is it the GoPro you got or what kind of camera? Nikon, Canon, Olympus?
Has been writing on this.
Look at the people, they can't even sit down. Do you see that? Nobody can sit down in the mission control.
On the surface of Mars.
It's not Flight, we have seen the completion of EDL 3000. Copy activity. That is as expected.
MRO is still seeing a strong signal from the lander.
Woohoo!
We have just heard the news that Perseverance is alive on the surface of Mars. Congratulations to the mission. And looks like we have some more news in.
Congratulations, JPL! NASA JPL! Congratulations! Woohoo!
Flight, this is OL3. I have the target point on the map when you are ready. We are ready, OL3. Go for it.
flight, I'll be moving in, showing you the safe zone that we've landed in.
Hold on, is it the first photo of Mars?
The first image from Perseverance on the surface of Mars.
Woohoo!
Now, it comes from the engineering cameras, known as the hazard camera. This camera is mainly used to help the rover drive safely around Mars, and we will get higher resolution photos later in the day.
Well, that's very clear. That is very clear. Well, it looks like some of the places in Utah. Somewhere in Arches National Park when I was, hiking over there. Or somewhere in, Palmdale or Lancaster or Edwards in California. Those desert area. Oh, boy.
Steve. Stand by for Steve.
These people, they cannot sleep tonight. Well, maybe many nights later. Maybe a week from now on. Or maybe a month. I don't know when they will be sleeping. If I were them, I cannot sleep for like at least a week, for sure.
We just got our second image in. Our second image is in.
That's the second image.
We have a camera in the front and out.
That's so clear.
The spacecraft.
Wow, that's a good camera.
They're the ground, so these are pretty close. So you can see the wheels there, and they're a little dirty because we've got glass covers over these cameras. But we took these seconds after landing, so there's still dust in the air from our landing event. So this is happening. This happened just seconds ago. Just arrived.
Wow, talk about the resolution. That is like so clear.
We even know where we landed. This is the most amazing thing. The vehicle is.
Dosta, we got the photos. Where are you going?
This is a sign.
NASA
works. NASA works. And when we put our arms together and our hands together and our brains together, we can succeed. This is what NASA does. This is what we can do as a country. On all of the problems we have, we need to work together to do these kinds of things and make success happen.
Go NASA! Go JPL! Congratulations! Woohoo! Great job! Dosta, we got a photo. Two of them.
Administrator of NASA,
we got two photos.
Steve, welcome
on Mars.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
You happy?
Amazing day.
You happy?
And how does it feel to have another rover on Mars?
It's amazing to have Perseverance join Curiosity on Mars, and what just a credit to the team. I mean, just what an amazing team to work through all the adversity that goes and all the challenges that go.
Look at him! Cannot stop smiling. Look at his face.
The challenges of COVID and just an amazing accomplishment.
We landed on Mars. Perseverance landed on Mars.
So for robotic
you did a great job,
We execute a mission with new instruments. We discover new things and things we never thought we would discover. So that always informs our future robotic missions. Both landers, rovers, and orbiters. This mission also has technology on it. One of the cool things is the Ingenuity helicopter. It's an experiment on this mission, but if it's successful, we can use it as an science observation platform by putting instruments on it, and also use it as a scout for future rover missions. And then just the entry, set, and landing capability. It'll allow us to land more larger, more ambitious robots on the surface of Mars. And then for human exploration, we have the Mars Entry, Set, and Landing Instrumentation, which is going to give us EDL information. We have the Mars Environmental Dynamics Analyzer. It's going to give us properties, size and properties of dust particles, because when we send people, we're going to have to deal with that dust. And this is just an incredible mission because of the science and the technology, and then caching samples for a Mars sample return mission. That will be an amazing mission, the first round trip to Mars and back, and bringing those samples cached by Perseverance back to Earth to examine with state-of-the-art equipment in our laboratories here on Earth.
We have so much to look forward to. And we also have a student question coming in from Landon. Let's take a look.
Hi, my name is Landon Applegate. I'm in 6th grade, and I'm going to Academy for Academic Excellence. And my question is, do you think we could get resources from Mars to help on future missions, or even as like a launching point?
Great question, Landon. Actually, we have an experiment called the Mars Oxygen In Situ Resource Utilization Experiment, or MOXIE, and it's going to demonstrate generating oxygen from atmospheric CO2, and that could help generate breathable oxygen, and even if we can liquefy it, oxidizer for propulsion systems. So that's a tech demo on Perseverance. And then we're going to continue to characterize the frozen water on and below the surface of Mars, and eventually try to figure out how to extract that water from the Martian soil, or what we call regolith, and then we can use that for potable water and also break it down into oxygen and hydrogen for rocket fuel. So absolutely, we're going to try to eventually figure out how to live off the land to support human missions to Mars.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to us today, Steve.
Thank you.
And now that Perseverance has safely touched down on Mars, let's learn more about what's in store for the rover. Joining us now is Surface Mission Manager Jessica Samuels. Jessica, your surface operations team has now taken over. What are they doing now?
Yes, hi Raquel. We are so excited here in the Surface Mission Support area. The team will do a handover with the entry, descent, and landing team and pass any critical information. And then this team behind us will be the team that does the health and safety assessments daily as we progress on this mission.
And what do the upcoming weeks look like for your team?
So as we enter Mars time now, the commanding team will be working overnight while the rover is asleep, so that we can perform the initial checkouts of our key rover functions and our science instruments. And we have to do this all in time for the regularly scheduled communication pass, which happens in the morning. And so we will be working around the clock, making sure that Perseverance is healthy, and
she cannot stop smiling. Look at her. Congratulations, NASA JPL.
It's a little bit like constantly, flying and changing your time zone. The rover, on Earth, the rover wakes up at the same time every day, but on Earth, that's 40 minutes later. So the team is going to be shifting our work schedule by 40 minutes as we come into work over the next few weeks. So it'll be exciting, and some late nights, but we're also excited, and we can't wait.
It's a whole new lifestyle.
Yes.
We also have a student question for you. This is Sophia's video.
Hi, my name is Sofia Lopez, and my question for NASA is, how's Perseverance gonna survive? And here's a drawing that I made from Perseverance thinking about Earth. Thank you.
Well, Sophia, Perseverance survives with a power source that charges its batteries overnight while it sleeps, and it keeps heaters on so that all of our critical electronics can stay warm, as well as our mechanism. But it's really survived by the team that performs the health and safety assessments every day and communicates with the rover and makes sure that she's doing okay.
Oh, that's a she? Okay. So Perseverance is a she. Okay. That's a name for a girl. There you go.
Back to Marina as she gives us a sneak peek into the future at JPL.
Look at her. She cannot stop smiling either.
It's definitely bustling.
Congratulations.
Not quiet like it was just 20 minutes ago. And congrats to the whole team. What an amazing accomplishment. Mike Watkins is the director of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. He was the mission manager during the Curiosity rover landing on Mars. Welcome, Mike.
Oh, thanks. Glad to be here. You can see all my mask markings on.
Well, you were just celebrating, and rightly so. Now, you've been around for a number of Mars landings. What makes this one special?
Well, you know, two things. I mean, it's the biggest and best rover we've ever sent to Mars, and it can really, you know, do amazing things in terms of, you know, its own scientific exploration of this habitable environment, you know, at Jezero. But, you know, it's also, as you've heard today, you know, it's the first step in Mars sample return. So really, you know, it's not only doing its own mission, it's setting us up for a series of missions and to bring those samples back. And, you know, a lot of the effort to develop the rover was specifically designed, you know, for that sampling and caching system. It's one of the most complex robotic systems ever made. And, you know, having it down safely means Mars sample return continues right on course, and we are moving forward.
Wonderful. Now, JPL has a long history with robotic space exploration. Why do you think it's so important to continue to push those boundaries?
You know, there's a lot of reasons. I mean, obviously, you know, for places that are far away like Mars and even farther away, you know, like Europa, right now robotic exploration is the only way we can make these scientific discoveries and really understand these early habitable environments. In the case of Europa, maybe it's even still habitable. And, you know, we're not ready to go there with astronauts yet, but the robots are ready to go there. And so we always, you know, are forerunners and pathfinders of human exploration. And we start by sending, you know, our eyes and arms there in the form of a robot. And it is just fantastic to be able to do that and to learn from each rover, learn from the science and the engineering and make the next one better and make more and more discoveries. And every time we do one of these missions, we make fabulous discoveries. And you know, each one is more exciting than the last.
The future does look exciting. Now, as director of JPL, what would you like to say to those teams right now celebrating?
Oh, you know, obviously they have earned it. Let me tell you. I mean, they have worked, you know, for years and years on this mission. And then in the past year, of course, we had the COVID experience. And you know, I want to thank not only the team, but also, you know, all of JPL. You know, a lot of folks had to pitch in here, you know, in terms of making sure our remote telework, you know, our IT systems were good enough to support folks working from home. You know, all of the folks looking at PPE and our safe distancing and reconfiguring facilities to make them safe for the employees. It's just an incredible amount of work by the entire lab, and of course especially by this team. And you know, and in one sense, you know, the 7 minutes of terror are very exciting, but on the other hand, you know, the mission's just started, right? We built the mission, you know, not to land, but actually to drive and get the samples and do other technology.
Is that
you know,
the third photo?
And so, you know,
that is one good.
Team,
what
you know,
camera
this
does?
part of the mission's over, but
Perseverance
for most of the team, the mission's really just starting. And so, you know, I think they're very excited, but, you know, everybody, I think, can take a deep breath and a sigh of relief now that we are safely down on the surface.
Yes, that collective sigh of relief, and I hear a lot of excitement and celebration behind me as well. So thanks so much for joining me, Mike.
It's my pleasure, and thanks to everyone for joining us, too.
Congrats again to the Mars 2020 Perseverance team for a successsuccessful landing. Back to you, Raquel.
All right, that's it. Congratulations. Bye.
Coming up for the Ingenuity Mars.